I visited my local dollhouse store and bought about 3 bags of goodies, so let's get started. Up first, I have a vintage bed with a dollhouse bookshelf headboard. I paid $10 for the set. It was made by Betty's Wooden Miniatures. The bed itself is made from a solid block of wood. It has some lace trim glued around the bottom to look like a bed skirt and a little piece of foam glued on top. I feel like this could be replicated pretty easily. Even if you don't have wood, you could just use a few layers of cardboard for the base. I haven't decided whether I'll be painting this, but I definitely plan to make some small scale furniture to go on this bottom shelf and some books and toys to finish off the top shelves. I'm not much for sewing, so I will keep the bedding as it is. My local dollhouse store has a pretty robust website, so I'll leave the link in the description. Up next, I have a vintage artisan-made kit. This is a quarter scale chaise lounge piece of furniture. Quarter scale is 4 times smaller than 1/12 scale, and it's the same scale as my witch's cottage. This little kit only set me back $1. I have another $1 kit. This is for a 1/12 scale fancy tea cake. This kit is considered new old stock, so it's a vintage item that was never used. The kit itself includes some colored clay discs, which are the cakes, and it also has some ribbon and a little rose, as well as a platter to sit it on. Oh, and look at that. It has this really pretty printed doily that I think sits on top of the platter. I think this is a really killer deal for $1. I haven't done any half-scale projects, 1/24 scale, but I would definitely be interested because they don't take up much space, so I couldn't pass up this $1 Houseworks window. And I bought a second window for another dollar so I can maybe make a room box or something. I'm all about flocking and greenery, so I was super psyched to buy this light green clump foliage for $1. I don't have any clump foliage, and this stuff makes really good bushes. Here's another artisan-made kit for a 1/12 scale Raggedy Ann toy box. I was actually really surprised by the contents because it has this clay head with a beautifully painted face, a little teddy bear, some fabric, stuff to make books, I think something to make a jack-in-the-box. So this is a really generous kit. I mean, you can't go wrong for $2. This is the last of the kits. This one is a shortbread cookies kit and the other one is a cake. So I guess I could throw a little tea party with these items. I really love the idea of a simple kit like this because you can get some creative energy out without having to think too much. The last item in the first bag are these round fondant cutouts from Wilton that I got for 50 cents. I don't have any circle cutters, so I'm sure I can find a use for these, and maybe I'll make my own little tea cakes. Who knows? This is one of those items that I don't necessarily need, and I don't know what I'll do with it, but I couldn't leave it behind. This is a set of beautiful vintage French doors, and I really love the glass because it has a leaded glass look on the panes. I'll give you a closer look. The glass itself appears to be some kind of thick plastic like acrylic, and it has this metal leading on the surface, so it looks like it goes all the way through the glass to the back, but it's actually just a tape-like product that's applied to the surface and it's sticky. I would love to know what this product is and get my hands on some because I have plans to make a castle and I would love to make some fake leaded glass. I don't know the history of these doors, but they don't seem to have ever been glued together, and they were made really well with actual rabbited joints. The door frame looks like it was chewed by a rodent, but I have a special product I'll use to fix that in a future video. For just $3 a piece, I scored these additional windows that were obviously made by the same person. The smaller window doesn't open, but the bigger window does. I might be wrong about this, but these seem to be like a Tudor style to me with the simplistic shapes and the diamonds on the windows. I have plans to make an English style pub out of cardboard, and these windows will be perfect for that little room box. Some of you may recognize this piece. It was made by Greenbrier, and this is the type of furniture you find at American Dollar Tree stores. In a previous video, I transformed this piece into an antique apothecary cabinet, and it's my favorite Dollar Tree furniture transformation I've done. I faked the look of some open drawers using popsicle sticks, and I made all of the hardware with liquid clay and some handmade molds. I'm super pleased with this purchase because I got this antique looking tin ceiling for $3. I did some quick Googling, and JR Enterprises made clapboard siding and flooring as well as ceilings. The design was copyright in 1981, but I'm not sure how old the ceiling is. I decided to open it up to see what material it was made out of because I assumed it was not made out of metal. It's made out of some kind of pressed paper, like embossed, but am I crazy or is the back pattern better than the front? So I decided to paint it silver real quick to see if I might want to install this backwards. So let me know, front or back. This next item wasn't on sale, but I really wanted to snatch it up when I found it. These can be really hard to come by. This is a bathroom kit from Bon. I paid $20, and for that price you get a bathtub, a toilet, a sink, a stool, and a bathroom cabinet, as well as a radiator. I made an abandoned hospital diorama really quickly, and I used the toilet, the sink, and the bathroom cabinet from the Bon kit in this diorama. I used popsicle stick flooring, but I wish I had gotten this $1 tile first before I did that diorama. This is a plastic sheet of embossed tiles, and I'll even find a use for the extra plastic on the edge. I won't throw that out. I really love how these tiles are made because they're pressed from the back, which gives the tiles dimension and grout lines. Next up, for the low price of $1, I got all these fantastic wallpaper cuttings. My local dollhouse store sells one-of-a-kind kits they design themselves and cut in their own mills, so they're always wallpapering dollhouses, and they have a ton of dollhouses on display, so I really love that they sell the extra bits instead of just throwing them out. I also got this adhesive-backed thin veneer of flooring, so they're very narrow strips of wooden floor. I can definitely find a use for these. The pieces themselves are only a few inches wide, but I have enough that I could easily cover quite a large floor with these, so I'll come up with something, maybe an abandoned miniature. And then I got this really pretty wall hanging or floor rug for only $1. I think I need more culture in my life because I'm not really sure what culture this is depicting, but I would guess India. I got this bundle of various thicknesses of wood for $1, and I'm sure I can find a use for that. And for 75 cents, I got this bag of semi-finished arch windows. I was thinking outside of the box when I got these, and I figure I could use them to frame out some miniature bookshelves in 1/24 scale as picture frames or mirror frames, or even to frame out a wall niche for displaying items. And the top parts form a perfect circle, so this could be a circle window or a frame. I got this Victorian Parlor Trim Carpentry magazine for 25 cents. There are super intense instructions inside for highly detailed trim carpentry, and I don't think I'll be following those, but I will get inspiration. Have you ever seen window trim that goes all the way to the floor like this? I've never seen this anywhere, but I also haven't spent much time in Victorian mansions. I mainly bought this magazine because I really like this Victorian fireplace with an overmantel. I think I could simplify that design quite a bit. I love this stained glass door, and I'm actually making a door myself that opens and closes, but it's a very simple style of door that I made out of balsa wood, and I am sharing a video tutorial for that. And these are some papers I got for 50 cents. They're a bunch of coordinating patterned papers. This is actually the paper I used for another Dollar Tree transformation that I used on the face of this dresser. I picked up these beads because they were cheap and I think I can use them as furniture feet, and I got a bonus paper clip. Here's another $1 for all bag I got because I really liked this printed paper brick. I think printed brick can help you along in a project, and I actually used some printed brick in my steampunk diorama. I just went on Etsy and bought a file and printed this from my own printer at home. If you'd like to check out the video for the steampunk diorama, you can see it right here. And here are the scraps of wallpaper that came in that same bag. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and make sure you check out my other videos.